bringing you a glimpse of the airwaves from the heartland of America.
Alpha Fox, Zero Fox.
Alpha Fox, Zero Fox. Good to hear you. 5 and 9.
There we go. Alpha Fox, Zero Fox.
I'm Michael, Alpha Foxtrot, Zero Foxtrot.
Are you live streaming this?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to another live stream of Heartland Ham Radio. My name is Michael, and my amateur radio call sign is AF0F, Alpha Foxtrot, Zero Foxtrot. And I'm coming to you live today from my QTH here in Kansas City. Hope you're all having a great Saturday so far. Let's see. I had some tech problems this morning, so that's why we're getting started a little bit later than normal. But I think we got those taken care of, so we'll see how it goes today. Hopefully I don't have any blue screens or anything like that. I was fighting some display driver issues, so I think we got those taken care of, but took me a little bit of time this morning to get things up and running. So thanks for your patience this morning. Today we're going to be primarily hunting parks on the air activators. These are folks that are out operating their amateur radio equipment in a park, and they're trying to make contacts with folks like us or other park-to-parks. There's no QSO parties this weekend, I think, because it's Memorial Day weekend. No QSO parties on the book, so I think it'll just be POTA today. Of course, I'll be narrating as I go, as I always do. But if you've got any questions about what the heck it is I'm doing, just let me know in the chat or the comments, and happy to answer any questions that you might have. Let's see what's new in the shack. So last weekend, this week, I got back from Hamvention. So last weekend was Hamvention. Wow, that was awesome. I went out on Wednesday. It was an all-day drive. I think with stops about 11 hours or so to Dayton. Let's see. And then that was all day Wednesday. And then Thursday, all day was Contest University. So I was super excited about this. This is kind of what drew me to Dayton. I'd never been to Hamvention. I'll share some of my experiences here in just a little bit, but was just a great Contest University. Learned so much. I've still got a lot to kind of go through in my notes and everything. What a blast. And to see and hear from the learnings of some of the world's best contesters was just an incredible opportunity. So I'm so happy I did that. That was a lot of fun. Then, of course, Hamvention was on Friday and Saturday. We left Sunday morning after breakfast because we had an all-day drive back, about 11 hours drive back. So we drove back on Sunday and then was back to work on Monday, Tuesday. So, yeah, it was a busy weekend, but I missed you all. But I did see some of you all, so that was a lot of fun, too. So once we get started here today, I'll show you some of my stuff here from Hamvention, and I've got like a ton of video and pictures that I just need to get some time to put things back together, but things just got kind of crazy at work this week, and I didn't get a lot of time in the evenings to do video and photo editing. But I did post a few to Facebook and Instagram, and then I did post a real short video on Contest University from after Contest University from my hotel room, where I was seeing if I could work some POTA with my Maestro remote from the hotel room. So that was a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Other than that, I think that's about all from here. Before I left for Dayton, I did get my ground rod finally installed for my grounding setup. I still do not have it tied into the service ground yet. That is on the docket. Long story there, but I need to bring an electrician in, I think, see if I can figure out what's going on with the electrical service ground and how that is all set up. That's a whole nother deal. But I did get the loop on the ground installed. Some of you, I think I may have shared this in the last live stream. I did get the loop on ground installed, and the 75 ohm coax run up here to the shack, and I've been playing with that a little bit. That's been a nice addition, a really nice addition. I think it's really going to help in DX contesting. I've already been kind of playing with diversity receive, where, the receive antenna's in one ear and the transmit antenna, slash receive. Because you got two receives kind of going in your ears. And the Flex does a really good job of kind of bringing those together, and then your brain kind of picks it out. But when signals fade on one, sometimes you'll hear it in the other ear, and you're able to kind of piece it together and sound it as one. So I think having a dedicated receive antenna is going to be a big upgrade. So I'm looking forward to the next contest to give that a try. So, all right, with that, let's bring the radio audio in, and let's see who we can get on the air today. All right, see, we got some folks in the chat already. Let's see, we got Kilo Romeo 4, Lima Romeo Alpha saying howdy. Good morning, good morning. And let's see, we got Daniel, November 1, Charlie in the chat saying good morning. Daniel's good. I think I got you on CW and SSB. That was pretty fun. when you're out in the park. I think it was your 400th activation at that threefer. That was pretty awesome. We got Kyle, NN9Z. Good morning. Yes, it was great meeting you, Kyle. I'm so glad you came up to me and said hi. And it was so awesome just meeting folks. It was just a blast. I recommend everybody go to Hamvention at least once. And it was... Come on back. Okay, we're back. Okay. I don't know what was going on. I was seeing some packet loss problems. I had some problems with my Cloudflare client last time, so I noticed it was dropping. Sorry if it was buffering, and so I just disconnected that. So it was a little bit of a blip there. I don't have it set up to stream. I could do a screen share maybe and show you some of the things. It's a really cool program. Still has some bugs in it, but they are making some huge progress with it, and it is now in their kind of version 1 GA release. So I'm excited about that. Hello, we got Debbie in the chat. Let's see, we've got... Hello, right? Yeah, lots of buffering. Yep, sorry about that. I think it's fixed now, so hopefully we're good. I'm just going to stop disabling... Or I'm just going to disable that Cloudflare client on my machine for streaming. All right. Yep, sorry about the buffering, guys. All right, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. So... I don't know how the band is today. I was working a couple folks on CW on 40 meters this morning. I think I got 2 on 40 CW and then 1 on 20 CW. Got Galapagos Islands on CW this morning, so that was kind of fun on 20 meters. I see lots of folks spotted. I just don't see a very busy waterfall here, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how this plays out today. So let's jump around here and see if we can get some folks in the log running POTA. And I need to figure out too for y'all, I think there should be a way for me to set up so you can kind of hear what I hear in my ears with the diversity receive if I activate it. I just have to send the diversity antenna on another channel and then adjust some of the pan in the mixer board in OBS, but I think I can do that. I think what I'm going to do is put together some Stream Deck macros so that I can take that on and off, because if I turn the diversity receive off, then I don't want you to just be able to hear it in one earbud if you're wearing earbuds. So I'll work on that and see if we can get to a place where we could demo that for you. We're going to try Windows here just a smidge. When Windows tries to help you and snap sometimes some of these windows, and it just kind of really messes you up if you're trying to keep things in a specific spot. Let's see, Kilo Romeo 4, Lima Romeo Alpha says, learning CW is cool, even though my call sign is made entirely out of K's and R's, essentially. I can't differentiate between them. They are tough letters for me. Well, you're not alone in that. I struggle a little bit too. I'm still the number 4 and then V, which is like one dit different. Still kind of trying to get instant character recognition on those. And then every once in a while, B and 6, again, another dit difference. So yeah, I think everybody kind of learns differently. Everybody's brain is different. I learned CW like kind of visually. And so, like, I am having a hard time, and it's going to impact my speed, and I feel it. Like, I still visualize the characters and then decode them. The problem is if you do that, it's just going to be, you're just going to get behind, especially if you're running a contest or something like that. So I'm getting there. I did order a USB adapter for my key for the computer so that I can do some of these cool new online Morris training things that are out there. I did talk to the Long Island CW Club while I was at Hamvention, and I did also talk to some CW Ops folks that do the CW Academy. And both of those seem like really good options. It just kind of depends if you want a more structured, scheduled learning model or if you want to kind of do it as you have time. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Now, I did I didn't buy it at Hamvention, but I did after Hamvention place an order for a CW key. So I played with them. I I've had this Vibroplex here for a long time. It's a double key. I guess I can kind of hold it up here. I don't spill my coffee with it. It's a double key. It's got a paddle and a straight key on it. I got this back in 1999, I think, when I passed my general and my 13 words a minute. That was kind of my present I got myself for passing my general. So I've been using it, but the keys now are just so nice. I mean, they've got magnetic balances in them. They're just so light touch. You can get variable spacing between the paddles. There's a lot of nice keys out there now. So, of course, Bengali, yeah, Kyle's mentioning here the Bengalis were nice. Yeah, they had a huge booth there at Hamvention. They were super nice. That booth was super busy. I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. I did want to get a nice key, but I did not want to spend Bengali money key at this point. But I did purchase a N3ZN key. So Tony makes keys, I think out of Pennsylvania. And he had like one of every single model that he had set up in his booth, and I got to play with them. I figured out I liked the 3/8 spacing, the outside to outside diameter between the paddles at 3/8 of an inch. I felt like that was kind of a nice fit for me. I know a lot of them are 5/8 or half. I think you can go up to 3/4. You can get kind of variable spacing on it. In fact, let me just pull up. I'll share a tab here of the key that I got. So this is the one I went with. I got the 3/8 the 3/8 spacing on the key, and then he lets you kind of pick the finish colors that you want in it, so you can kind of mix and match finish colors and all of that. So anyway, I'm excited about that one. It's got super fine thread adjustment, so that'll be nice. The Vibroplex has I don't know if they're called fine thread, but they are not that fine. So I'm struggling a little bit kind of finding the sweet spot kind of for the distance. Plus, the Vibroplex is pretty clicky. And so, like, when I'm sitting here streaming, I can hear myself clickety-clicking. And the new ones now with these magnetic touches, I mean, you can just, they hardly make a sound at all. It's pretty crazy. So I was super excited about that. It's going to be about 4 or 6 weeks. Tony hand makes all of those if they're not in stock. And so I'm excited on that. But I saw it at Hamvention. I didn't buy it at Hamvention. That was the one thing I was going to look at. Mostly just because keys are so subjective, right? Like using one, it'd be hard to like buy one online unless you knew exactly kind of what your spacing was or how it felt. Because I tried a lot of keys last weekend, and there were some nice ones. Don't get me wrong. The Bengalis were really, really nice. They've got a lot of different options. I just wasn't going to spend, double what I did spend. So anyway, I still wanted to get a nice key. Tony makes all the keys by hand there in Pennsylvania. Not sponsored. I paid full price out of my own pocket for them, but I was super excited to get this key. I got it in a purple charcoal color. It's kind of a textured purple here. So anyway, just something a little bit different. Something that'll kind of sit out on the shack desk here, so I'm super excited about it. Delta Hotel 1 Alpha Echo says, I bought my Bencher 40 years ago, still works like a charm. Yeah, this Vibroplex, it's trucking along too. It is just like it was when I got it, so I've had zero trouble with it at all. And I am so glad I kept it, because there were multiple times, throughout moves and all that, I was like, well, I should just sell this and give it to somebody that would use it and go to a good home. But I kept it, and I'm glad I did, because now these things are just so expensive, and they're kind of collector's items a little bit. So anyway, so I'm excited about that. It'll be 4 or 6 weeks. I'll show it to you once I get it. But yeah, that was my big purchase for Hamvention. All right, I've been yakking at y'all. Let's see if we can get some POTA folks in the log here, and I'll keep telling you about Hamvention as we go. Wow. Seeing some folks spotted.
So I'm 100 kilometers or 80 miles from the waterfall on the border of United States and Canada. I'm using 10
Chew there. Got a good signal, though. I was telling y'all I took the Maestro with me just to see how I do it. I mean, what better time than at a ham radio convention to take your ham radio to the hotel? So I took it with me. It worked fine. I had no issues. I still think Flex has an amazing remote setup, so I'll just caveat that. I mean, it was super easy to do. I think I would still just use my computer. I had to get the cables out for the PTT switch. I had to get the headset adapter in. I had to bring a headset with me and all of that. If you're already traveling with a laptop, it would be super, super easy just to use, either Aether SDR or Smart SDR and operate from the laptop. So, but I wanted to see if I could do it, and that was pretty cool. So the other thing is a lot of hotels have they call it a captive portal, where sometimes you have to put your room number and stuff in. I'm not sure how the Maestro would handle that. The hotel Wi-Fi at the hotel I stayed at was not great in my room at all. I had better luck just attaching it to my hotspot on my phone because I had really good 5G cell phone coverage. So that worked pretty well. I did hunt some POTA and got some folks in the log, so that was cool. But yeah, I don't think I'd travel with the Maestro. Unless I was going to like a second home or something like that, and I was going to be there for a while. I don't think I'd want to just carry the Maestro with me on just a long weekend hotel stay. I think I would just launch the laptop and just use Smart SDR, Aether SDR, or the SDR client of your choosing. Okay. I think I was here and there. Been yakking at y'all, and I'm not hunting. Although we may need to hunt, or we may need to yak some more, because I'm not seeing a whole lot on the waterfall. Anybody been on this morning? Even CW seemed a little light earlier.
And I have a 6-way switch. I have another antenna on there that is
a POTA spot here. It kind of sounds like a rag chew.
And that's good for 6 to 80. That's like my primary up to the time I got the...
Daniel, if you're still in the live stream, I did try to find is it a Bama key in the flea market? I didn't get to the flea market, and I didn't even get through all of it, but it was Saturday before I got there. I think one lesson learned I would do differently is the big manufacturers and all the big booths are going to be there all weekend. I would think I would go through maybe the flea market first and just kind of do a pass there. Now, you may not get the best deal on the first day, but if you're looking for something specific, that'd probably be my recommendation. But I think there was just as much or more flea market than there was to the, kind of the commercial booths there at Hamvention. So. Kyle, did you check out Aaron at Modern Morris? I did. He had a couple of keys there that I played with. I think for like a POTA activation, they would be perfect. So I was just looking for something a little heavier on the desk here for in the shack. But from what I hear, this can get to be kind of addictive. So at some point, if I'm doing a POTA activation with one, I'd want kind of maybe like a QRP or portable rig or portable key that's got like a magnetic base on it, or something that you set it on the top of the radio, or set it on a little pad or something. So I'd have to play with that a little bit. But no, yeah, he was there, had a booth, and did see their keys. I think a few people had pre-ordered, because I think I saw him delivering some to folks that had already ordered one. So I did talk to them for sure. Yeah, Daniel says, sadly, I think the Bama keys. Yeah, I agree. I went and looked at their website, so I thought, well, maybe I can luck out and get one on the flea market. So, but no luck. Or if they were there, they were gone. So, yeah, I didn't know if somebody was going to continue to carry the torch on the Bama Tech keys or not. I don't know, y'all. This is looking a little rough today. I may talk more about Hamvention then. Ah, there's one. I can't tell if that was a park-to-park or if it was the activator there. Yeah, maybe it was a park-to-park. Heard something about National Forest. Let me do this. I'm going to throw the loop on just to see if I can pull it up. Hey, we got Alan in the chat. Alpha Charlie 4 Hotel India. Good to see you at Dayton. We need to make plans for Huntsville. That would be a lot of fun, Alan. Alan, I really enjoyed meeting you. In fact, everybody, Alan came up to me as I was walking into the hotel and introduced himself. So thank you so much, Alan. And we even had dinner one night and chatted and talked about ham radio. So thank you so much for your company there, Alan. That was a lot of fun, and it was great putting a face with a call sign. Oops, that's why I'm not hearing it. I don't have the right receive antenna on. There we go. I'm just putting the loop in my right ear and then the DX commander in my left ear here. So somebody's doing some tuning here. Let's turn the notch filter on. Everybody's being spotted on 20. So the SSB is being spotted on 20. Just kind of looking at the spotting cluster spots. Just down here at the bottom, maybe we can keep somebody here. Way down here, lower in the extra portion. Sometimes you can snag a POTA down there somewhere. That's all right, I've had this Maestro booted for a while this morning. I've been up here since about 6 a.m. doing various things. It's only 70 spots. It's not bad. We'll let the spots run down.
Or someone is calling me. This is Victor, Echo number 3, Papa Italy Juliet. Papa 3, Juliet.
All right, Daniel's on his way out to the park. Yeah. CW and FT8 may be the way to go today. Holy smokes.
Delta Charlie, I was looking for something to write down your call sign because my memory is not that good. I try to remember, but
I can relate to that. My memory's not as good either.
my name is Romeo Oscar Mike.
Can't tell if he was calling somebody or if he was calling CQ.
Is my name. I operate Kenwood Folksong of 5000D.
I did get some POTA swag from the POTA tent while I was there, so they were printing name badges with your call sign on it, so that was kind of cool. So holding that up there, hopefully you guys can see that. So that was kind of cool. I didn't get a slash through the 0 though. I don't know if it was just the person running the keyboard. I did get a keychain here. It's Parks on the Air. And then I got a POTA lanyard here. So I was supporting the POTA tent. Got some of the swag there. So that was kind of fun. What else did I get here? I need to do like a how was the, all the swag from Hamvention. I got an icon pen here. Let's see, what else did I get? Got a Hamvention pin. I felt so bad. I tried to get stickers for folks to give out, but I was a little slow on getting them ordered. So I got those ordered after I got back, the sticker I was going to use. So I'll, if you guys want one, I'll send one out to you. And but yeah, I got some Hamvention pins here, the official Hamvention pin. I haven't taken them out of the packages yet. And I got my Contest University lanyard here for CTU. And then I got my Hamvention ticket in here, so I had to have that to get in. Oh, I got my rubber chicken. Can you hear it? A little squeaky. The story on the rubber chicken is there's a group of us that meet a couple times a week. I try to attend if I can. It's usually during my lunch, so if I got a couple free minutes, I'll pop in and say hi. But the chicken came from Heather, Alpha Hotel 7 Romeo Fox. Alpha Hotel 7 Romeo Fox. Yeah, that's her call sign. And all the group that's in that Zoom, they do little CW bugawks. Obviously, if you have a bug, you can do it a little easier than if you have a key. But if they work each other either in a contest, they'll send a bugawk on the Morse code key. And so she was handing out rubber chicken, so I wore my chicken proudly during the Hamfest. So that was a lot of fun. DX Engineering had some dog tags with band plans on it, phonetic alphabet, just kind of some tchotchkes that were in the bottom of the bag. What else did I get here? Lots of stickers, lots of let's see, here's Paul KJ5, Golf Kilo, the Southern Ham. Met Paul and took a picture with him. And he gave me a sticker, so that was kind of cool. What other stickers do I have here? I got so many stickers. Met POTA Power, Vaughn and Julie in person. It was great to see them in person. Let's see what else is in here. There's all sorts of stuff. I won't bore you with all this, but the Contest University was great. They have a copy of all the slides for all the sessions, so I took a bunch of notes and stuff in here. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They had breakout sessions you could pick from various topics throughout the day. They started with breakfast at 7. Then they did kind of a kickoff at 8 o'clock, and then they just did breakouts the rest of the day. Took a break for lunch, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that was really cool. So I've got a lot to digest there. One of the ones that I thought was really, really good that I took a bunch of notes on was let's see. It was a session from November 4 Golf, and he did a presentation on hardware tips and sage advice for average contest stations, which I thought was pretty cool. And what he talked about is like how you deal with RFI in the shack. One of the things I learned is even though you might not have RF interference from things like switching power supplies and things like that, you can have magnetic interference from those switching power supplies. So if you have them on top of coax or some of that stuff, that can cause electromagnetic interference to come in, and the coax doesn't help protect against magnetic interference. So I thought that was really, really interesting. I do have my cables kind of somewhat neat in the back, but I did, after that session I got back, I did come back and move some of my power supplies a little bit away from that stuff. I didn't notice a big difference. I don't think I was having a problem with it, but it was a good tip. He said, if you are going to bundle your cables, he's like, bundle your coax, then bundle your power, and then bundle your like computer cat cables, USBs, all that stuff. So if you're going to do any type of bundling of cables or Velcro strapping of anything, keep them separate like that. And he showed a picture from a DXpedition where there's kind of cables running all over, and he said this looks like a mess, but this is actually done intentionally, and nothing was touching anything else. No power supplies for laptops on top of coax or USB cables or anything like that. So I thought it was just really, really good, and learned a lot. So took a lot of notes. There's a lot of good slides in there. The other thing too is if you weren't able to attend Contest University, if you go to the Contest University website, they recorded, I believe, almost all the sessions. So you can go back. They were live streaming them. Doesn't cost you anything to do it. You can go watch the replays. So lots of good information there. It closed with a presentation from Bob Sherwood, and he talked about receivers and transmitters and the Clean Signal Initiative. We focused so long on receiver performance that the transmit performance got kind of didn't get attention. And so they're talking about the ARL's Clean Signal Initiative and the certification process for that. And so that was really interesting and informative to kind of learn what they're doing. There's kind of 3 levels of it. Like one has to do with like CW clicks. One has to do with distortion. And I forget what the third one was. But anyway, you can go out to the ARL Clean Signal Initiative and read about it. But they're going to start any transceiver reviews they do, I think from June on or May on, here right about now, we'll have ratings on the Clean Signal Initiative. And if any manufacturer wants their radio retested to include that information, they have to submit it for retest. They're not going to go back and retroactively change reviews that have already been completed and published. So I thought that was really interesting. Bob is just a wealth of knowledge about transceivers. He talked about the test equipment, how he tests all those things. So yeah, it was really, really interesting for sure. Hey, we got Randy in the chat. November Delta 9 Golf. Randy, it was great seeing you and chatting with you at Hamvention. Thank you so much for saying hello. We took some pictures together. Randy was with me when we took the picture with Paul, the Southern Ham, so that was a lot of fun. So appreciate you tuning in today from Indiana. Hope you had safe travels back home.
Copy everything very well.
Dan's kind of cruddy this morning here, so I'm just chatting and yakking at you all about Dayton. Those that went to Dayton, did you have a favorite thing? I think for me it was the people. I think Contest University and just meeting the people was great. I volunteered at the WRL booth, the World Radio League and Ham Radio Prep folks, and that was a great place because I was kind of in one spot for 3 hours each shift, 3 or 4 hours depending, and then people were able to come to me. So I had some people reach out. It's like, hey, where are you at? And it's like, well, I'm here this minute, but I think they published the numbers too. I think it was like 37,000 people. Let me see here. Somebody posted it to our contest group last night. I think they did a press release on the official totals for Hamvention. I get too many emails here. Anyway, it was between 35 and 40,000, so yeah, there it is. 37,924 attendees for Hamvention, so that was released, I think, yesterday in a press release. So that was pretty cool. There was definitely a lot of people there. Weather was variable too. That was one thing folks told me, like, you kind of got to pack for all seasons a little bit. As we drove out on Wednesday, it just kept getting cooler and cooler. It was I think in the 50s when we got to Dayton and checked into the hotel. And then Thursday morning, I ran out to the car, and it was like 39, 40 degrees. I mean, it was chilly. So Friday, it was like long sleeve, hoodie weather. And then Saturday, it rained in the morning and then got hot and muggy and kind of filtered sunshine. So yeah, it was just kind of all weather there, which sounds like from talking to seasoned veterans of Hamvention, that is not uncommon. So, hey, we got Kilo India 7, Yankee Delta Mike saying hello. Thanks for stopping by. We're just chatting about Hamvention here. Bands aren't in great shape today, so maybe we didn't miss anything by me starting the stream a little late today. See, Randy says, I regret not meeting Salty Walt, but I did get his new book. Awesome. That's great. I tried to get in... Let's see, there's 2 sessions I wanted to do. I think it was it that one or was it the POTA one? Both sessions I wanted to go to, it was full by the time I went there. So I didn't get to see them, which was fine. That was fine. So hopefully some of those maybe show up on some video archives where I can go watch some of them. One of the ones I wanted to go to is like cybersecurity and ham radio. And then the POTA one, and then Salty Walt was doing a talk and book signing as well. So ARL had like kind of an author booth, and they kind of rotated folks through that have different ARL publications out and had them do signings and things. So ARL had a big presence there. They had a really big youth representation there too. They had several youth groups and trying to encourage some of the investment in youth programs and collegiate programs in amateur radio. So that was really cool to see. And there was several of the groups that were kind of with the ARL corner. I think it was Building 2. Were they in Building 2? I think it was Building 2 they were in. So, all right, I hear CQ Parks on the air. Let's see it. We got a club here. Yeah, Whiskey 9 Juliet Papa. Picking them up on the loop, too, here. I hear them kind of swirling in my ears here a little bit. I set all this stuff down on top of my PTT keys. So hold on a second. Oh my gosh. What a mess. I had so much stuff. I've yet to kind of clean. I've yet to clean things up here. So.
Thanks for contacting. Good luck.
That sounds pretty good.
November 9, Delta Echo Kilo, Whiskey 9, Juliet Papa, calling CQ POTA and saying bye, over.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Oh boy, I almost lost him in the QSB there. Kylas, did you get the new Aurora? No, I did not. I did not get an Aurora. They are in stock now at DX Engineering, though. If you buy one, use my affiliate link in the description there for DX Engineering. They did give away, I will say, DX Engineering, Flex, ICOM, Yaesu, like almost all of them at various dinners or events, they gave away big prizes. I will say those radio manufacturers and DX Engineering, they donated a lot of high-end gear for various drawings. So they gave away an Aurora at the contest dinner. I think they gave away a 101 MP, and then, or maybe that was at Contest University. At the Flex dinner, they gave away gift certificates for various things and different prizes at the Flex banquet. Let's see what else. Let's see, this contest dinner. What else did they give? There's a bunch, and then the Hamvention itself had a bunch of big prizes too. So. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot, you're 5'9", Uniform Sierra, 225,
QSL, I got you 5'7" into Kilo Sierra, 57 Kansas today.
Roger, 5'7" into Kansas, thanks for the contact, and good luck.
73, have fun.
7-3.
All right, we got one in the log, y'all. 2256. This one, 57, US Kansas, get them respotted. All right. Get them in my scratch space here. Randy said, I did meet Mike and Becky, Carlos, Tank Radio, and the one and only Dave Kassler, Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Golf. Awesome. Yeah, man, I met so many people. I met Mike and Becky, too. They were so nice and just so genuine. I love their, if you haven't seen their channel, I think it's Ham Radio Duo is their channel. And they were just so incredibly kind, and so many people were saying hi to them, and they were taking pictures with them. It was really, really cool. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let's see, Kilo Romeo 4, Lima Romeo Alpha asks, how old is the POTA thing? It's it goes back a little ways. I think, is it 2016, something like that? But it's just kind of exponentially grown. Let's see here. Let's see, early 2017, I guess is what it says. Parks on the air. Let's see. Oh, 2018. So the formation of Parks on the Air was January 5th, 2018, 8 years ago. So, yeah, and it's just kind of exponentially grown the last few years. I found it when I came back to HF back in fall of 23. I heard these folks calling CQ POTA, and it's like, oh, that's kind of fun. I logged, and it's like, okay, I'll put the park number in. It's like, what is this thing? And then it's like, oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of them out there. And then it's like, it was just a spiral from there, because it went from, oh my gosh, I want to grab all these POTA people I can, to, oh my gosh, I think I want to go out and activate. So I will say one thing I've really enjoyed about it is I feel like it, not forced me is not the right word, but it did make me take a look at what my portable setup is. So I didn't really have a Go box or a battery or anything like that on the ready. And so, I was able to build that. So now I got a battery box. I've got a generic Harbor Freight equipment case that's got the padded foam in it for the rig. I got some antennas and stuff like that. So that's kind of one aspect that I've enjoyed from it, is just I feel like it kind of helped with my emergency preparedness, I guess, a little bit set up. So there has been situations where I've come up here and played radio when the power's out, because I've got a nice big battery, and it can run a SSB radio for, oh gosh, I've run it probably 6 or 7 hours almost constant on SSB. I think it's an 80 amp hour, 60 or 80 amp hour, and no problems at all. And I haven't even run it dead, so it'll last a long time. So I've played radio when the power's out, which is actually a great time, because none of the noise from the neighbors and stuff is going on. So I'm not hearing you at my QTH. That's okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think it's kind of garbagey a little bit today. So
Alpha Papa standby. Kilo Delta Zero, come ahead.
So we got one POTA in the log. So let's spin back up through here. Maybe we got somebody up here a little higher. I am hearing some of these folks on the loop. That was one of the tips that I learned at Contest University, is the importance of receive antennas. And if you have a receive antenna or two antennas, if you can have one that's vertically polarized and one that's horizontally polarized, and if you can mix them in the radio like I'm doing with my Flex right now, I know you guys can't hear the loop, you're just hearing the DX Commander. That's on the primary feed, but then you can really pull some stuff out that you normally wouldn't be able to hear. So I've definitely experienced, especially here on 20 meters, where I'll hear it on the DX Commander, the QSB's kind of there, and then I'm hearing them on the loop, and it's kind of going back and forth a little bit. So Lima Romeo Alpha says, I have 200 watts of solar going into a 400 amp hour battery and a 3,000 watt inverter in my car. Once I get my radio set up and my general, I can't wait to go spend some weekends playing radio. Oh man, you're going to be set. You're going to be set power-wise for sure. That's really cool. Yeah, I power my laptop and everything from the I have a Biano battery. I think that's how you say it. I need to look. I can't remember if I got the 60 or the 80. I think I went bigger. I didn't want to invest that kind of money and then go, oh, I wish I had the next size bigger. So, what size loop? It is a 15-foot square loop. So it is based on the Kilo 5 Juliet Yankee, I think it is. Let me look here. Yeah, I'll drop a link in the chat here. This is his loop on ground site that I used. The one thing I did is I did not build my transformer, my isolation transformer. I used a pre-built one that I got online. I just didn't trust myself to wrap the toroids. I didn't want to go to all that work and then it not is the loop not working? Is my electronic building skills the problem, so I just opted to spend a little bit more money and buy a pre-made. And I used actually what I did is I got a beverage transformer. So same setup exactly for a beverage. I just don't have room for a beverage, the length needed for a beverage, and so I opted for the loop on ground. So yeah, it's been really good. I think as we start to come down on the backside of the solar cycle here, the higher bands are going to start to be less and less. So it'll be more kind of 40 meters, 80 meters. So I think the loop on ground is going to help. So I'm super excited about having that. I've definitely noticed it the most on 40. I'll still use the DX Commander to transmit and then listen on the loop. But like I said, if you can mix both in your ears, it's pretty incredible. Your brain kind of mushes them together. So great question. Yeah, I had some 75 ohm RG6 quad shield laying around from an old house project from probably decades ago, and it was still in great shape. And so I was like, well, I got this RG6. You feed it with 75 ohm, and the only thing that was questionable was my crimping skills on the F connectors. Of course, the one that's in the attic behind me, I think I had to cut that one like 4 times. Either I ripped the inner foil. So the quad shield is braid, foil, braid, foil. And when you terminate those, you pull down the first braid, and then you have to cut the second foil, or the first foil that you run into, and then lay that down, and then get the second braid peeled over without peeling the second foil that's around the foam insulator from the center core. Of course, it's hot as snot up in the attic, and I'm sitting there having to terminate this thing like 4 times. Leave yourself some service loop. That's my recommendation if you're doing coax termination. But we got it. You guys can see the waterfall here. Holy smokes. There's just almost nothing. This could be a very uninteresting live stream today. Let's see. Folks on 17. We'll go check out 17 meters. Peek at 15 too. I haven't seen much on 15 for a while. In fact, let me just go down here to the FT8. Let's see, 21074. Yeah, there is some FT8 activity there. All right, so there is some activity on the band. There is some folks here.
I use 1 and 4.
That sounds like a rag chew. I do see some spots up here. Oh, sorry, I went back to... I typed in 14. I was like, wait a second. .074. Yeah, there is some FT8 here on 20 meters too, so... There's some activity up here. Let's see what we got. Anybody spotted on POTA on 20 meters?
Yeah. I said your elevation is about 4,000 above sea level, Roger.
A little QSB. Sounds like maybe a red chew. I said 4,000 elevation. Maybe it's a soda. Check the Soda Watch site here. Let me see if we got
okay, well, you're both doing a good job. Yeah, you're both doing an excellent signal coming into Ohio. Yeah, I'm about 1,250 feet here. About 1,250 feet above sea level here, Roger?
It's not completely dead. Lima Romeo Alpha. I wish I had 2 good ears. I operated mono. Can't mix headphones left and right, unfortunately. You know what you could do, though? I mean, you could, you know, if you could get them into a mixer and then send the mixed feed to the one ear. Probably a little more hardware setup than you want to deal with. But I know guys that just flip, too. They'll flip on the receive and then flip back for the transmit. So some folks do it manually. I wouldn't want to do that for like a 48-hour contest, but trying to get one in the log and you're hearing them better on the receive antenna. That would work potentially.
And I'll catch you again. See you again soon. And lots of good DX. Lots of good DX.
I hear him. I don't hear the folks that
right now.
Sugar 51 Mobile.
Sugar 51.
Slovenia.
Okay?
Slovenia Mobile. That's pretty incredible. Hey, Paul. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, Paul.
Yes, sir. Take care of yourself.
All right. I think he's mobile. It's not completely dead. Oh, there's somebody. What's this? Oh, there's somebody. If you had a beam, you might be able to pull some stuff out here on 15 today. It's late. Not hearing much on the loop on 15 in my ear, but it tends to be a little bit better on the lower bands, kind of 20 and lower. Hear them a little bit on the loop.
Thank you very much. Nice to get you in the log and doing a very good job out this way today's band. Thank you, my friend. Hope to talk to you again. 7-3.
Starting to fade out there towards the end. Definitely QSB. Drag this over and see if I can see anything up a little higher. So there are some folks on 15, so that's not terrible. I really haven't done much on 15 or 10 these past couple months. I don't think the conditions have been great on those bands. They're really light. I'm just not. It's kind of some QSB. See any POTA spotted on 17 meters. 7, not hearing them. The one thing I didn't do, and honestly I didn't know about it, was when I was in Dayton, I didn't go to the 4 days in May. I heard some people talking about it, and I thought they were just referring to, you know, Hamvention weekend. But the 4 days in May is, from what I understand, a kind of a QRP-focused kind of mini conference within a conference kind of thing. So a lot of the QRP vendors and things that specialize in QRP exhibit there at the 4 days in May. So I saw some videos showing up on YouTube from some of the kits and things that were for sale at the 4 days in May. So I'll have to check that one out next time. Yeah, Randy, I was the same way. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. I had no idea what that was, so I learned about it through context clues of watching some of the videos coming out of Dayton. Well, there's nothing here on 10 either. There is somebody in New Hampshire on 6 meters. That spot's like pretty old. See if I see any FT8 activity. I do not. Let's go back to 20 meters here. I guess we can go take a look at 40 too.
Start instructions, over. You didn't check the quick start instructions.
Sounds like a right shoot.
A little bit stretchy when you put the drive power up there.
I'm hearing that really well in the loop here. Hey, we got John, November 8th, Sierra Golf Mike. Sorry we didn't find you at Dayton. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, bummer we couldn't connect. There were so many folks that I saw, but they were maybe in passing, or I was so thankful that some folks felt comfortable enough to like pull me out and say hello if they saw me. So there's so many people there. It was crazy. If you've watched any of Andy N0 APX's videos from WRL, of like his interviews with some of the booths and things like that, the cameraman was me. So I helped Andy out filming some of those videos.
And good luck with that. And I would certainly don't overlook.
Yeah, Randy's asking, do you have a loop on ground antenna? And so how does it perform? Yeah, I was just talking about that. Yeah, I've not had it very long. I've had a couple of weeks here, but I think it's going to be good, especially on the low bands. I definitely notice it on 40 in the evenings. And what I've been doing, you can kind of see it on the display here. You can see antenna 1 there in the upper left. So the left side is antenna 1 for receive. Antenna 1 is my DX commander. In red is antenna 1. That means the transmit's on antenna 1. So I'm listening and receiving, or transmitting and receiving on the DX commander, but I've got it in my left ear. And then the loop on ground, which you see there to the right of antenna, the red antenna 1 is RXA, and that is the loop, and I've got that going to my right ear here. So I'm not mixing it for you all because I'd have to adjust the faders in OBS. I need to get like a macro program so I could flip it back and forth so you guys would be able to hear it on the stream. But I think it's got really good potential. I'm excited to try it maybe as we get into fall with some of the DX-centric contests. Because there were so many times where, somebody was just in the mud and I wasn't going to be able to get an exchange from them. So to have a receive antenna, I think will be a huge benefit there. So I used the in the chat. I don't know if you just joined, the link may not be showing up, but the KK5JY's design for loop on ground. If you just, I think, Google loop on ground, you'll find his site. But it's just what I did is I took some of my extra DX10 wire. It's outdoor UV resistant silicone coated wire that Cal uses for the DX commanders, and I just cut a 60-foot stretch of that, and I buried the transformer in the flower bed up front, and put the loop on ground down in the grass and staked it down, and you can't even tell it's there. So that worked out pretty slick. I was trying to keep it as far away from the transmit antenna as I could, and since it was going to be down on the ground, I put it in the front yard. So far that's working pretty darn well. So I'm excited to try it. I haven't done a lot of contests outside of QSO parties. It's probably been WPX voice or phone. So I'm excited to try it on the next one. Use it as a tool to maybe pull somebody out. But that was one of the tips that I learned at Contest University. If you can get 2 antennas, and if you can get one that's horizontally polarized and one that's vertically polarized, that can help, because where one isn't picking it up, the other one can. And I definitely noticed that. I hear it in my ear a little bit on 20 here, but you can really notice it on 40. And then I don't normally have an 80-meter antenna set up, but I might, if I'm up here late some evening, I might flip to 80 meters when it's open and just do some testing with it on the receive side. I don't have an 80-meter element on the DX Commander Signature 9, so I can't transmit without running up, putting my end-fed down, but I usually string up my end-fed for contest weekends. And then that gets me 80 and sometimes a little bit of 160. So yeah, absolutely, glad it was helpful. Yeah, and I shared with the group earlier, I did not build my isolation transformer. I bought one. I used the DX Commander beverage transformer kit, and I didn't trust myself to wrap the toroids and get that right. And so I just went with a pre-made one, but it's weatherproof. It's in a stainless steel housing. I knew it was built well, so Not sponsored. I paid for it, but it comes with like a beverage terminating resistor, and then you just don't use that for the loop on ground. But the transformer is exactly what you need. In fact, if you go read the reviews on that transformer, people say they use it for the KK5JY's loop on ground. Let's see. Paul asks, Michael, do you think I could set up a 160-meter loop on ground portable for POTA? Parks here have giant open land. I mean, you know, with ham radio, try it. You know, if you got room to try it and you got that much wire, you could totally, I'm sure you could do it. You know, one of the challenges with 160 is just, you know, the wavelength is so big, so you just need so much space. But if you've got wide open space, you could try it. Now, this setup is not for transmit, so you'll ruin the transformer if you transmit using the loop on ground antenna. But if you wanted to, like, you know, make a loop that you would transmit on, I know you may have better luck with it in the air a little bit if you could, like, suspend it. Usually on those low bands, you know, height can be your friend a little bit, but yeah, play with it. I mean, just experiment with it. I mean, the number of times I've heard people say that's never going to work. It's never going to work. And then it's like, well, I mean, it worked. It may not have been optimal, but it works. When I was building the DX Commander, I was doing all these readings on radials. And it's like, you got to have 120 radials. You got to have at least 64 radials. And it's just like Cal had put out this video on DX Commander about radials, and he's like, sure, if you're trying to get it, but going from 16 to 32 and then 32 to 64 and 64 to 120, you know, it like is approaching zero for the return. You have to double the amount of radials to get, you know, any sort of measurable. So at some point there's kind of diminishing returns. So his recommendation was if you can get like 16 on the ground, great. But if you can't get that many, get as many as you can down. More is better than less, but if you can only put them in a 90 degrees of arc because your antenna's in a corner, just do it. Sure, it's not going to be optimal, but at least you're on the air. It's better than no antenna. And it's like, okay, after I saw that, it made me realize, like, don't sweat it. Like, don't overthink it. You know, just don't let the perfect setup stop you from getting on the air. So I know there's plenty of folks. I started with an NFED in my attic. You know, just get something. You know, sure, it's not going to be ideal. I had a person tell me, you put an antenna in your attic, you're going to be able to talk across the street, and that's about it. It's like, oh, crap. Well, that kind of took the air out of my balloon, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to try it. This is an inexpensive antenna. I'm going to try it. Put it up. I wasn't like winning DX awards with it, but at least I was on the air, and I was definitely getting farther than, you know, across the street. So I know folks that have, you know, wires, you know, under their soffit, you know, and live in an HOA. I was talking with a guy at Hamvention, lives in an HOA. But he's got like a walkout basement, so he put his NFED at the top. On the, you know, what would be 3 stories up, and just brought it right down his trim and then mounted the transformer. It looks like a cable or phone service box on the side of his house. And he said, it's not ideal, but at least he's on the air. So yeah, I'd say give it a try. See, Randy says 3 radials are enough to make contacts in Russia and Europe. Absolutely. Just get something down. When I do POTA, I use Greg Kilo Juliet 6 Echo Romeo's Challenger antenna, and it's an off-center fed vertical. And so it's got just a tiny counterpoise wire that you just kind of let drape off of the tripod, and it works great. So you don't need much, and I've worked DX on POTA activations, no problem. So an unnamed ham radio store told me I will never do 160 meter POTA, and there won't be 160 CW except for contests. I don't know about that. If you put yourself spotted out there, I think you'll make some contacts. So yeah, don't. Everybody's got an opinion. You ask 100 people, 100 hams their opinion, you're going to probably get 100 answers or variations on 100 answers. Kyle, I missed it. What'd you get for your LOG Balun? Yeah, well, let me drop a link. I'll put the DX Commander link in here. Or I'm sorry, DX Engineering link. Sorry, we were talking about the DX Commander. Signed in here. Give me a second, sorry. I'll drop a link in the chat for what I got. Here's somebody in there. Multitasking here. I can't talk and listen and navigate here. There's the beverage link, and if you that's an affiliate link. So if you do buy it, they just say they just track that it comes from me, and they give me a little to support the channel. But if you want a non-affiliate link, there's the direct link. So no worries at all either way. All right, let's see if we can get anybody else in the log. I guess I could pull it up so you guys can see it if you're not in front of a computer screen. This is what the beverage matching transformer looks like. So it's pretty simple. It's kind of about 4 inches by 4 inches. They said it does come with the terminating resistor. It's kind of a 3D view of it there, kind of spinning. They said it does come with this large terminating resistor, which you would use for if you were actually setting up a beverage, but for the loop on ground, you don't use it. So. All right. Guys, boy, the band is shot today.
Down there. And next day when I go to work...
hear them. Just rag chew, though. Well, there's people in the parks, but I think this is a little rough here. Got Julia Papa already in the long. A little light for POTA today. Well, not light. I think people are out there, just the conditions aren't great. I probably picked a good time to start to do more CW. It'll be a while before I live stream my CW, y'all. All you experienced CW ops would just be like, oh my gosh, this is so hard to listen to. Not like a ton of noise on the band either. It's just like hearing a few stations. What is the solar conditions today? The A is at 6, the K is at 0, the SFI is at 124. Not great. Let's see what the dashboard is showing. A little spike in the K yesterday. Nothing. Just fewer and fewer sunspots. Let's see, what else we got? I had all intentions of getting my video edited down when I got back. I just...
Charlie Victor Lima, I got someone stepping on me, a couple frequencies up from you, about a 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 3614.
It's going to be Steven. CAR. Have I worked in before? Once. Back in April.
Your report is about a 5 and 6, 5, 7. You came up a little bit of QSB today.
A little bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience. You're in and out. November 4, Zulu Alpha Romeo QRZ.
Alpha Fox, 0 Fox. One second, I heard him really strong on the loop, and I don't hear him at all on the loop now. It's all DX Commander coming in my ear here.
3614.
I hear him strong on the loop.
Roger, 5 New York. We're about a 5 and 5 here into Crystal River, Florida, park number 3614, Roger. Gavin 3, you came up to a 5 and 7. November 4, Zulu Alpha.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
Hang on 1 second, I gotta change paper here. Okay,
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
Alpha Foxtrot, something, go ahead.
It's Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. QSL?
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot, 5 and 7 into US 3614, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I got you 5-5 into Kilo Sierra, 55 Kansas.
Roger, the Kansas, appreciate your contact. N4ZAR is still writing here. Hold on a second.
That was really weird. I heard him on the loop, and then it faded back to the DX Commander.
Okay, QRZ, N4ZAR.
I'll take that as a to-do. I'll get a macro programmed here so I can stream you guys the loop. So if you have headphones on, you'd be able to hear it a little better. A little more like what I hear in my ears.
Kilo Delta 7 said Beck Alpha Sierra, Roger.
I've toyed with the idea of just actually forking the audio from my headphones for the stream, but there are times where I might crank it up in my ears, but I want to blast you guys out on the stream, so I kind of let the DAX send the kind of even keel stream volume, and then it allows me to tinker with my ears, so like in a contest or something like that, I can get the get the cue in the log.
CT-POTA, November 4, Zulu Alpha Romeo, CT-POTA.
Yeah, that was all DX Commander, nothing on the loop. It's really weird how that's kind of fading back and forth like that. I'm feeding my loop from the northeast, just the way it laid out on the front yard. So the main lobes are going to be to the southeast and northwest. I was trying to get something towards Alaska and Japan. Japan is really a struggle in DX contests for me. So if I could hear them a little bit better, I was kind of hoping that would help with the kind of the main lobe headed that direction. So. But the one to the southeast is probably helping me with this Florida station a little bit. And you can adjust where the lobes are on the loop on ground. So if you feed it in the middle on a side instead of a corner, then the lobes are on the sides. So you can kind of control how you want the pattern to be on the antenna by where you're feeding it and from what direction are you feeding it. So.
Roger, about a 5-5 in Florida, Fox 3614, Gulf Coast.
Cal was on the air today with a special call sign, Golf Bravo 88 Mike Hotel for the Men's Mental Health Awareness Day. Oh, that's cool. That's cool they were doing an event like that, but it was also cool that Cal was on the air. I love watching his videos. All right, we got Zulu Alpha Romeo on the log. I did respot him, didn't I? I did. Okay. I was the second person to spot him.
That's about it. Well, let me try Kilo Quebec 4, Tango Whiskey Papa. Willie, you got Papa and Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Mike? Yep, heard there. That's okay. I got one good in there, Dave. No, bad conditions there. Still probably in back. No one.
Line 23, one good call back to that WN1F.
That's a net. There's a little activity up here on the top part of the band.
Okay, Charlie Foxtrot, Echo. All right. Man, I appreciate you standing by for me and helping with this. Okay, so that must be David?
Yes. Oh, if you're calling in, I didn't do it yet.
Okay, David, I've got you 5-5.
Got a swig of water here. I've been drinking coffee all morning.
Here in the park in US 3511, QSL?
So 5-5 as well. I'm in US 0571.
Oh, I lost him. Lost him in the QSB. Hopefully I got my video driver problem figured out. That was why I was late to the stream this morning. I'm having some problems with my GPU driver blue screening on me, and I was getting ready to set things up for going live, and it blue screened again, so I ran through this super deep, complex process to rip the driver completely out and then reinstall it clean, and it just took me a little longer to do. I had BitLocker encryption on the drive, so then when I initially booted to safe mode, it wouldn't let me log in because I had a security thing turned on, and then I had to reboot it back and then set it and then reboot it back again in safe mode, and it was just a hot mess express in here from the tech perspective. But I think it's been more stable here. I'm gonna knock on wood. It's been more stable than it's been the last 24 hours, so hopefully that took care of it.
So give me your call again. Okay, only the station ending in Charlie. Only the station in Charlie.
He's low, but he's in there. You can hear the call. I think it's this Fox Whiskey Bravo call.
Okay, November 2, Uniform Hotel Charlie. Tom.
I'm not hearing him on the loop at all.
St. Paul, Kansas. All right, you're 5-9 here in our park when there's no interference there, Roger.
Don't hear the other Kansas station he's talking to.
All right, thank you for the 5-6 in Kansas. Let me get that in the log here. All right, so I got one other guy here that is ready to make contact with you. Stand by. Okay, my call, November 5, Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo.
There he is.
November 5, Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo. And our mark is
5556.
US 3511. US 3511. Roger.
Let's see if I've worked them before. Yeah, new activator for me.
All right, stand by for my second op.
Oh, there's 2 ops there.
November 2, Uniform Hotel Charlie, Kilo Bravo 5, Whiskey Yankee Juliet, KB5, WYJ. Copy?
Alright, got 2 ops there. I haven't worked them before either. Got 2 ops here that are brand new.
Roger that. You're also
For me, new for me.
Parked on the air. Thank you for the 5-6 over in Kansas. Over.
5-6 to me too.
Yes, the call sign is Kilo Bravo 5, Whiskey Yankee Juliet, KB5 WYJ. Over.
See if they call QRZ.
CQ POTA from November 5, Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
Okay, I had several of you there. Spread it out for me a little bit, guys. I appreciate it. And let's see who I can talk to. November 9, Whiskey Mike question mark.
Trying to get this level just right in my ears. It's right there in the noise. I don't hear him on the loop at all. Generally, my experience has been, it's been better on 40 than 20, but I do notice it on 20. There's a couple stations we heard on 15 meters. I didn't really notice it with them at all, which makes sense. These are the loops I think are meant for more of the low bands. He's about a 4.3 right now, almost a 3.3. I'll show you guys the noise floor difference between the 2 antennas. If I can get these guys in the log, I'll show that to you, just so you can see the noise floor difference between the 2 antennas. It's pretty incredible. Oh, man, I think I lost him. Got him. Still there.
All right. I got you in the logbook. I appreciate it. And thank you for the contact.
Only hearing him on the DX Commander. See if I hear Fox. I think they've been passing the mic to Fox Whiskey Bravo to call. I've lost him completely. I don't hear him on the... I might have heard something on the loop there, just for a brief second. Let's see if they come back. I think we lost him. Hear the person up just a little higher. Well, maybe we can grab that person. All right, it's November 7. Come on. Somebody's up a little higher. It wasn't the activator, it was somebody hunting. Lost the other two.
Let me get that QRP station up in Ohio. You sounded great here.
Oh, there we go.
4 Golf Echo Tango. Whiskey 4 Golf Echo Tango. So this is K4 Lima Oscar. How copy, sir?
Sounds pretty good for right now. Needs to be one of those days if you see something on the waterfall, jump there. LO's not, Lima Oscar's not spotted. A bit of noise there, kind of a birdie in the middle of. Yeah, it was strong and then nothing.
They had up here. Roger, you're about the same here.
Yeah, that's a Missouri station. That's, unless I can get them ground wave, it's going to be a little close for 20 meters. Being here in Kansas City on the Kansas side, just a little bit from the border.
On your activation today, I've got another operator here that would like.
Yeah, they're back. Those Texas station.
Stand by for my second op.
That's the way it's going to go today.
Kilo Delta 7, Quebec, Alpha Sierra. This is Kilo Bravo 5, Whiskey Yankee Juliet, KB5, WYJ. Over. So if
anybody's working, quite a few data. I'll tell you what, FT4 and CW can save an activation at marginal band days for sure.
Same report, same part number. Thank you for the QSO. 73.
There we go.
CQ POTA from November 5, Foxtrot, Whiskey Bravo, and 5FWD calling CQ POTA and Fox.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Let me get it in the log correctly. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Okay, Michael, up there in Kansas. Got a good signal down here today, 5-9 in US 3511, Roger?
Roger. You're about a 4-3 into Kansas today. Thanks for being out there. It's a little rough.
Yeah, it's a little rough on RNC. We got a lot of thunderbumps going here, so I don't know how much longer we're going to last, but we'll keep it as long as we can. All right, I got another second operator here. Stand by.
All right, standing by.
AF0F, this is Kilo Bravo 5, Whiskey Yankee Juliet, KB5, WYJ. Over.
QSL. I got you both in the log, both 43 from Kilo Sierra today. Thanks for being out there on a tough conditions day, 73.
73, thank you much.
All right, 43, 5-9.
Whiskey Bravo.
We got them. They came back. It's going to be persistent. There are going to be days where the band is going to be finicky. And this is one of those days.
US 3511.
I think you're going to have to pounce on somebody if you hear them and get them in the log while the conditions are good.
Here in the state of Texas
From
today,
Kansas. I probably could give them a 5.3. They were pretty readable. I'm going to go ahead and spot that second operator. That just always helps folks out.
Here's my second up. Kilo 7, Sierra Delta. This is Kilo Bravo 5, Whiskey Yankee Juliet, KB5 WYJ. Over.
KB5 WYJ.
Yes, it's Kilo Bravo 5, Whiskey Yankee Juliet, KB5 WYJ. Over.
All right, we got them spotted. So at least they have the call sign.
For the QSO there in 73.
Just help the fellow hunters out a little bit.
Kilo Red, River 5, Foxtrot Whiskey Bravo, US 3511.
They might be waiting for their POTA account to be confirmed or something like that. So it doesn't look like they have a POTA account yet. When they upload the activation logs, they'll get their log. Or when they go to upload their logs, they'll show up in an account. So it might even be a first activation for them.
My second operator got on the phone. So
a second op got on the phone. That's funny. Just gonna click on the band plan here, and we'll see if we can. Somebody's down here. Might have been a hunter. I was playing a little bit with Free DV. Those of you that don't know, it's a voice digital mode for HF. The Free DV folks were at Dayton Hamvention and talking about the application and the open source codecs and things they're using. Was on there this morning and was decoding some folks. So that was kind of cool. I haven't made any QSOs yet. I've just been listening. One thing that's really cool about it is you can go to the viewer and you can tell, if you transmit, you can tell what stations are hearing you, even kind of like FT8 is. And they report up to PSK Reporter and all that, so you can see how good your signal's going out. The problem I see with the digital voice modes on HF is if you got a bunch of QSB and the band conditions are fluctuating up and down, it's either there or it's not. It's kind of like DMR or any of the other digital modes, like you got it or you don't. And so it, sometimes if conditions are changing rapidly, you'll hear somebody for, a few seconds and then they might disappear if the conditions change. So, but definitely really cool. It's kind of neat to see, new things in the hobby and people experimenting and that's kind of what the hobby's about. So I was playing with Free DV a little bit. I'll post a link to their site if you want to check it out. The application was pretty easy to set up too. It was had support for all the HamLib supported radios and all that. So kind of neat. But there were some guys playing around on 20 meters. I've sensed most of the activity is on 20 meters. At least that's been my experience. But the cool thing is you can bring up a window and it'll show you where everybody's got it loaded if they're choosing to report who they're hearing up. You can see who's listening on what frequency. So I saw mine change as I was jumping bands. It was changing my frequency in the window that was reporting to others. So, and then if I had it up and I decoded somebody, it was reporting up, even though I wasn't talking to them, it would put that person's call sign and that I received them. So kind of cool. Again, a lot of similarities there to what you get with WSJTX and FT8. So if you haven't checked out Free DV, check it out. This is a rough band conditions day.
Situation here, Bob.
Got kind of a late start this morning for the stream, so.
Yeah, Roger. Very good, Roland. Thanks for the report. And QSL on your QTH and your setup there. Sounds very good.
Ooh, he faded on the DX Commander. I'm hearing him strongest on the loop right now.
It's definitely working for you. You're right around S9. And there is some QSP.
Oh, I told you I was going to show you the noise floor difference. Okay, so hold on. Let me turn off the diversity receive and put this back into normal mode.
But I guess propagation is good here between Pennsylvania and Michigan.
Okay, so we're back to just the DX Commander and not using diversity receive. Now let me throw the receive. Now, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if we hear this, but look at the noise floor. You can see right at about negative 120.
SDR into a Mercury Lux amp running about 1,200 watts. The antenna is a multi-band delta loop.
So look at where this noise floor is. About 159. So there's showing you the difference of the noise floor between the two.
If you have any affiliation or history with...
So that's all the loop. You're hearing just the loop.
You just happen to get that call. W8UPS from K3H.
I hear the other station's super great on the loop.
Copy there, Bob.
So you can tell there I've switched back to the DX Commander, and now I'm... But I can hear the other station better on the DX Commander. So in that example, having them mixed in your ears, you can see how that could be beneficial during a contest or, trying to work a weak station.
It's Upper Peninsula Station.
But you can just tell the huge difference in the noise floor.
For UP, but wasn't available for UPS, which is easy to remember. And
these guys are just rag chewing. I was just using them as an example to show you the noise floor difference between the two antennas.
There you go, Bob. That's the story on that one.
So then with that, so what I do is, so now I can just turn the diversity back on, and I've panned it in my ear. It remembers what you have set up, but I have on the flex here on the Maestro, you can see the A antenna, which is the primary antenna, is panned left, and then the diversity antenna is panned right. I don't know why it didn't remember my antenna.
Probably could have gotten my 3 in this.
I do have an antenna too. It's just the 20-meter dipole that's in the attic.
Maybe I didn't. I may have listed that on the request list, but at the time.
Anyway, just wanted to show you the difference in the noise floor between the two antennas.
30 years ago, when
I was relatively new to kind of receive antennas. I didn't really know much about them. I thought it was always something that a bigger station would have. I always hear some of these big contest stations talk about their beverage antennas and all. It's just like, well, I don't have room for a beverage antenna, and so just kind of dismissed it. And then I found this loop on ground thing, and I might even been discussing it here in the stream, and somebody said you should check this out. And I mean, for a chunk of 60 feet of wire just put in a square in the front yard, that so far I've been pretty happy. Like I said, it's only been there a couple weeks, but you can definitely see the difference in the noise floor between the two antennas.
Down to probably about S4 to 5 and then back up. And tell me more about your...
This is about the only folks I'm hearing, so let's see where else we got some folks spotted. We do have some folks spotted now in 17. Let's see if we can...
build those...
really light. I hear something in there. Usually at 15 meters, you're hearing something on 15. 17's a decent shot. Let's see some activity down here.
F1 Delta, estación Estado de Guanajuato, México, en activity weather station calling TQ, 70 meters, and standing by. Good afternoon, over, and happy weekend, over.
That's a Mexican station. Heard X-ray echo.
5-5, Louisiana.
56, North Florida.
It might be a net.
thank you. What else?
Must be asking for signal reports or something. I heard him briefly on the loop. I think the DX commander's doing most of the heavy lifting on this one, and which is the case on these upper bands. Let's go check these POTA spots out here. The only one spotted right now is at 18,130.
Yeah, your spot was up on the POTA page, but it's gone now. Anyway.
Yeah, it was gone. I don't hear that activator. It's only 30 seconds old, so all right, let's check these 10-meter ones. I heard some folks talking that 10 meters has been better late in the day. Let's check FT8. I don't really see much FT8 activity. Let's check 15 meters. Enrique says it's an HF QSO net. Awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, I missed the first part. I heard the X-ray echo, and then people started chiming in with the signal reports from different locations. So we were hearing Mexico on 17 meters. Got a spot here on 12 meters. What's the MUF at here? Open up my hand clock here. Up in our area. Yeah, it's right at about 21-ish. So that would negate 10 and 12. So 17 is probably about right at the 17 and 15 are going to be right at the limit for the MUF right now, although it's a little bit better coming across the Atlantic, so maybe later in the day. Like I said, I heard some folks talking about it being better at the later part of the day here recently. So I don't have a beam though, so I think maybe some of those setups are maybe a little bit bigger setups. We can always go take a look here at maybe here on 40. Try 40 meters too. Maybe with the loop we can pull somebody out here. I'm probably not going to get the DX, but let's take a listen. That's 7,200, and don't want to park there. Not for a live stream, anyway. Bruce says, it's been rough going on the West Coast lately with 10 and 15. I've been able to work DX only after 10 p.m. to South Pacific and Europe. As you said, sunspot count is low in noisy conditions. Yeah, I agree 100%, Bruce. I think that's what a lot of folks are seeing. I'm not hearing anything here on 40 either. I heard that one station, but POTA spots look pretty quiet. I did consider maybe getting a 40-meter coil for POTA. I've done 40 on POTA, but I've always strung up a wire. Might be nice to have just a coil for the vertical. Make it a little easier. I don't love having to put something up in the trees all the time. Looks good to Florida, apparently.
QSL, sure appreciate it. Thank you for the parts. Have a great day in Step Street.
You as well. 7-3. Have a great weekend. This is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Call us CQ Parks on the air. That's US 9479
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
Alpha, Halifax County, Virginia. Over. QSL, you're 5 and 9.
He's loud.
Here, Halifax County.
Let's see if I can pick him up on the loop. Yeah, I'm not hearing him on the loop either.
Awesome, man. You're sounding good. Good luck to you. God bless. From K4EYA. 73.
Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Kyle asks, are you going to do the ARL Digi contest in 2 weeks? I haven't done a digital contest. Maybe I should try it. Might have convinced me, Kyle. I'll have to check that one out. There is another contest coming up. What is it? Is it CW? WPX CW maybe coming up next weekend? Let's see here, May. Yeah, next weekend is CQ WPX CW. And then, yeah, digital's that first weekend in June. And then the VHF contest is the weekend after that. So that'd be kind of cool. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Alpha Fox, 0 Fox.
Copy to Uncle Sam 2473. I'm going to need you to come with your call sign again. They stepped on
That's
you.
pretty strong now.
Kilo Bravo 9, India Tango Victor David, Minnesota, QSL. Roger, Roger, I'm clear on the part number, US 2472, Camden State Park. And I have you at 55, David, 55 in the network. That's US 9479, the mileage code, QSL. You as well, 7-3, best of luck on your activation. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, he's kind of fading up and down on me a little bit here. See if he comes back up. Ugh. These conditions, y'all. It's a little tough. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
X-ray Papa.
I don't know if I'm going to compete with that. Some of those guys are pretty strong. Here's where that Aurora would come in handy. You just give it a little bit of oomph. Although I've generally found with the Flex and the DX Commander, people can hear me. It's usually my hearing that is the struggle, which is another reason why I wanted to try the loop. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot.
QSL, 59 plus 10, Kentucky.
Not hearing him on the loop at all.
QSL 9479. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you being out there.
I lost him again. Darn it. Coming up on 2 hours here. We might starting to get a little hungry. It's past lunchtime here. I should probably have something a little more than coffee and water. Also need to do some cleanup up here today. I got boxes kind of all over. I've got my pile of Hamvention stuff. I showed you just a small thing of it. So yeah, I need to do some cleaning in the shack. Also talking about maybe putting a mini split system up here with 3 computers, all these monitors, 3D printer, all that stuff. We got a lot of heat generation up here. This is a converted attic space too, so it's generally a little warmer anyway. Technically a bedroom, but we've made it an office. This guy's too light. I can't get him. He can come back. Let's check this other one. Like somebody was hunting there. I saw the bright colors on the waterfall. Yeah. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. Darn it. Just right in there in the noise. If anybody's putting one of those mini splits in. We do have HVAC up here. It's just, it's so hot up here. It just can't keep up. It's, you know, the farthest room from the central air conditioning. So I think the mini split up here would help a bunch. So I just don't want it to make a lot of noise on the radios. So that's one thing that's making me a little nervous. But if we're going to put it in and be doing some work in the attic, I need to get it done now before the heat of the summer. And I think once it's up here, we'll really enjoy it a lot more being up here. I mean, even just here, I mean, I've got the power supply, the flex. The flex doesn't put out a ton of heat. Power supply, a little bit of heat. Honestly, most of the heat in my work area here in the shack is from the monitors. So I got 3 monitors up. I got the laptop screen open. So I think those generate the bulk of the heat. I don't generally have to run too much in the way of LED lighting up here. I do have an LED light. That does put out a little bit of heat when it's on, but it's just the combination of everything. You get a GPU in your system going, you get a couple other computers up here going, a couple other monitors going, and the 3D printer generates a pretty good amount of heat too, so I think that mini split will probably help a lot. We'll still keep the AC pumped up here. It's just, I think that'll just help allow it to stay ahead. We've got supplies up here. I think the biggest problem is there's not a return up here. So when they built this, they did not put a return in, so you don't really get that circulation. So I've completely lost this guy. I don't hear him at all. I don't know, y'all. Maybe we'll wind it down for today. Go grab some lunch. Hit it maybe after sunset here. Oh, there's somebody. Yeah, that was a hunter.
QSL, you're 5454, Kentucky.
Kentucky station was strong, but I didn't hear him on the loop. I only heard him on the DX Commander.
Have a good weekend, and POTA on.
POTA on. is a little light. It's about as light as that other station was. We'll give it a minute here, and if we don't hear him, we'll wind up the stream for today. I think it's getting a little better. I'm hearing more hunters here. The activators are still a little bit tough.
You just dropped into the mud, man. Keep it straight a few times.
As they say, smack that like button. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, if you want to find out about when we're live streaming, hit that notification button and be notified when we go live. Typically do Saturdays and or Sundays. Hanging out up here in the shack. Appreciate you all riding along with me. When I started doing this, it was, I wasn't sure where it would go, and I was gonna be up here in the shack anyway. It's like, well, might as well give some exposure to some others and kind of experiencing ham radio. So it's really been kind of all the amazing people and connections I've made. So you guys make it all possible. There's somebody. Of course. And true to form, I QSY and they're gone. So it's probably a hunter.
Roger, I copy US 8124 Oscar Kilo and a 5 and 7. Please take a 5 and 7 for yourself. I am portable in Whiskey Victor.
West Virginia. Looks like the activator's in Oklahoma. Looks like they're just getting started. Just got spotted. Oklahoma's a little close for 20 meters for me. If you'll be on HF later on today, I'll try and work you if props permits. Yeah, absolutely. If you hear me on, say hello. All right. We'll go ahead and wind it down. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me a little bit this morning and early afternoon here in the shack, doing a little bit of POTA hunting. No QSO parties this weekend, no contests this weekend that I was participating in. So it usually tends to be pretty light on contests. There might be, maybe there's something on a small DX contest or something, but generally on Memorial Day weekend, you don't have a lot of contests. But man, the band conditions are rough out there today. But we did get some folks in the log, and so that was good. Glad I got to share with you my some of my Hamvention findings and all that stuff. So we'll get another video posted with some more kind of recap and first time ham experience at Hamvention. I want to get that out, so I just need to spend some time getting it downloaded off the camera and get everything all chopped up and edited. So appreciate you all for hanging out with me today and your patience before I get that out. And I'll certainly post the links once it's there. So I did mention today it was Memorial Day. So just before we wrap today, I just want to just acknowledge and remember all the men and women who did give their lives in service. We're grateful for their sacrifice, and it's the real reason for the long holiday weekend here in the U.S. So I just want to acknowledge that before we wrap up today. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and say 73. I'm Michael, Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot. A couple reminders: have fun with your radio, be kind, stay curious, and until next time, 73. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.